Hello and welcome to another episode of The Fueling Station, the exciting podcast that talks about all the cool things at retail fueling. I'm your host, Ed Kammerer with OPW.
And I'm your co-host, Jonathan Stong with OPW.
Better known as the Pod-troleum guys. So one of the things we thought we would do with the podcast would be fun to take it on the road. And so we're actually here at the OPW Manufacturing facility in Smithfield, North Carolina, the headquarters for OPW Retail Fueling. And joining us today is Greg Kennedy, who's the Director of Operations for OPW Retail Fueling.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to join the podcast too.
Thanks for joining us, Greg. I know. So you probably hear the background noise, but that's kind of part of the experience. We want to be actually right on the shop floor as we're talking about these important topics. And today specifically about manufacturing processes. So what we want to talk about today is fiberglass or composite, and all the different processes that are used to make composite materials. You know, Jonathan, we've seen over the last several years, we've seen the shift in the retail petroleum industry to go from steel, like manhole covers and things like that, from steel to composite materials, just because of the different advantages that composite has. And then certainly with underground containment chambers, you know, back in the day, they used to be polyethylene, but now we see the resurgence, or not the resurgence, but the development of people going more and more to fiberglass containment chambers as well.
Yeah, you know, I think fiberglass, you know, we've known for many years in this industry and other industries that it's been a great product in terms of chemical compatibility, and depending on the application, it's been well suited for our industry. You know, I think one of the aspects that OPW brings to the table is, like you're saying, that we manufacture manholes, we manufacture containment chambers, under dispenser containment. So fiberglass has a lot of different applications within our industry, and I think knowing that there's multiple processes for those applications and for those situations is best served. And engineering and operations, I think, do a great job of making sure that things go right in the right way here.
So fiberglass or any composite material, I mean, it's a great material for our industry because it doesn't corrode.
That's right.
It's lightweight, and it's a great barrier, you know, against fuel. So it's a perfect application for large containment chambers, and then also for composite covers or manhole covers, making them lightweight so one guy can lift it without busting his back. So, you know, we could probably spend a whole segment talking about
all those benefits.
You know, the benefits of composite. But since we're in the manufacturing facility, what we want to concentrate today, you know, FRP, fiber reinforced plastic. But there's a ton of different ways, or many different ways that we can do to make this material into, whether it's a pipe, whether it's a sump, whether it's a manhole cover.
That's right.
So Greg, why don't you talk to us a little bit about, you know, what are the different manufacturing processes used in these composite and FRP materials?
Yeah. So once we've you know, started running fiberglass at the OPW facility back in 2014, we really focused on the RTM and RTM light process. So the RTM process is where you have a pressure mold compression to make our covers. Also a back RTM process, which makes our chambers. The thing about back RTM versus such as a spray up process is having this smooth inside and outside surfaces for any penetrations that we have in our product. The great thing about being part of OPW, we look at all the processes in fiberglass and try to see what's best fit for our product. So at the facility we do RTM, as I said, RTM light. We also do spray up for products that don't have penetrations where fittings actually happen in the field. So we have those capabilities as well. We've also now looked at SMC. So you can see some of our products, SMC, which is a sheet mold compression process, which is a process that could be done. It's a faster process, a process that once again has a smooth surface inside and out, which we do for different loop sumps or different tank sumps or other dispenser sumps. So so we do multiple processes of fiberglass in Smithfield.
Right. So, and I think you hit it on the head, Rick. You know, when we brought Fiberlight into the retail facility here in North Carolina, almost 10 years ago now, we really pretty much did RTM, resin transfer molding. That's a great process for the manhole covers, for the large containment sumps, because like you said, the advantage of an RTM is you have a double-sided mold, so you have smooth surfaces on both sides. Where if you look at the other manufacturers that do sumps, Jonathan, they're traditionally using a spray up, which is a single-sided mold, which is, it's an inexpensive process, but talk to me about what's the disadvantage of actually doing a spray up on for a containment sump?
That's a great question. I think there's a couple things. Mainly, inconsistencies. Human beings aren't calibrated, so when you're using a gun like that, you have to be consistent in how the wall thickness is managed all the way around the part, whether it's on the corners, on the base, on the side. So that's one aspect, is keeping consistency in wall thickness. Another thing is making a smooth finish, because when we're putting these products together, other than what we make at OPW, like Greg said, resin transfer molding and SMC, we're doing that to make a smooth surface. The chopper gun itself adds strength, but you don't get that smooth sealing surface. So when we use chopper, it's on those aspects of a sump where you're not going to do a penetration.
Right.
Also, manufacturers who use chopper guns, then they, at times, to manage what's called porosity, they gel coat those sumps. But then when I punch a hole through that sump and I scarf up that sump, I may take off some of that gel coat. With the resin transfer in the SMC, I think we get that consistency where it's a fully saturated part that gives that smooth sealing surface in and out and consistent across the board.
So the advantage of RTM, resin transfer molding, is now you have a consistent blend of both resin and glass. Where with a chopper gun, it can be all over the place.
Yep.
Your wall thickness is consistent throughout the entire part, whereas a chopper gun, some walls may be a little bit thick, some walls may be a little thin.
That's right.
So RTM was a great process for those large containment chambers. But Greg, as you know, so with the typical RTM dispenser sump, how many of those can you make in one shift?
Roughly 8.
So you can make 8 in a shift.
Yeah.
So when we started looking at ways of doing things better, we started looking at, like Greg said, SMC, sheet molded compound, where instead of taking a mold and curing a product, we're actually taking a sheet of composite or a sheet of fiberglass and stamping it out. So Greg, when we went to SMC for these sumps, the advantage is, again, we have consistent wall thickness, a consistent blend of resin and glass, and smooth wall surface on both sides. But Greg, how many SMC sumps can you do in a shift? 50. So there you go. So the advantage of SMC is the efficiency, the manufacturing efficiencies that we're able to do, the productivity savings that we're able to initiate, and again, it's a consistent part every time. I don't know, I invite you, if you're at a trade show, come by the OPW booth and look at one of our SMC parts, whether it's our loop sump or our new ESE sump. We'll be launching a tank sump soon, but if you look at these things are a work of art, just how perfect these parts are every time they're stamped out.
You made a comment in one of the other pads that, these are so beautiful, but we have to bury them.
Yeah.
And I think because people like us who are in this industry, and this is our heart, we love to see that.
Yeah.
I like to see a Corvette-looking product in the ground, knowing that at the end of the day, it's protecting the environment and that market, and of course the customer base.
And I apologize for the compressed air in the background, but like I said, it's all part of the experience, right, Clark?
I think
that's the reason we're literally standing here in the middle of Fiberlight cell as they're molding. They're actually cutting foam right now that'll be used in the sump. The presses are right behind us that'll come down for the RTM, for the manhole covers. So Greg, it's really been exciting to see, OPW from where we were 9 years ago. We truly are now a world-class composite manufacturer.
Yeah, not only world-class manufacturer, but also high-volume fiberglass manufacturer. We acquired Fiberlight. We had 5 manufacturing RTM presses. Currently at the site, we have 19. So we're not only world-class in our processes, but we're also world-class in our capacity and continue growing. So as I said, the RTM process, SMC process, very easy standard work, consistent process, is easily to train associates versus spray-up process. All those type of things are the benefits you have in a higher, better product than the RTM and SMC.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly that, there's a different manufacturing process, and each application, there's the best process for that application. Whether it be a ring that doesn't see an entry fitting, whether it's a containment sump that you're going to drill holes in,
right,
or whether it's a manhole cover that needs to be light but still, accommodate a large heavy load going across it. So that, I think that's one of the great things about this facility is actually we're the only facility I know in retail fueling that can do all of those processes under one roof.
That's correct, yes.
So Greg, hey, thanks a lot for joining us. I know you got to get back on the shop floor and get some stuff out the door, but we appreciate you joining us. Jonathan, always a pleasure. I enjoy doing these. It's kind of fun coming on the manufacturing floor. If you like what you heard, be sure to like us and subscribe or hashtag us or whatever you do on these social media things. But
Fueling
again,
station.
the fueling station, I'm Ed Kammerer.
And I'm Jonathan Stong.
We're the Pod-troleum guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode.
Cheers.